gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Gentlemen, we've come to a serious discussion. Is there an equivalent in the Marvel's universe to Wonder Woman? Now, many people have said it is Captain Marvel, and others have said it's She-Hulk or Phoenix. But what do you think? Right here, today, there's going to be a definitive answer. This question will be settled. So I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, Cal.
I'm going to let PD go first.
PD, what do you take on this?
As of right now, as for Marvel, most of the Marvel they have male-female analogs. Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Hulk, She-Hulk. So you gotta throw those out. They're not Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman doesn't have the connection like that. She's, there's a loose connection, but all the powers of her and Superman are not
Superman.
The costume. No, the costume isn't. There's not enough similarities in what they do. But now Marvel, in the whole Todd McFarlane versus Neil Gaiman, they got Angela. So they have their Wonder Woman analog, but now she's sort of kind of been forgotten because they have the female Thor running around. So right now,
which is not
Thor
real.
female,
That's going to be gone soon.
that's sort of the Marvel new, but that's the Thor. So that's the same thing I said before. So Angela, if Marvel can find her again, bring Angela back, and she can be your Wonder Woman. Analog.
Why Angela? I got to hear why.
Look at the outfits. Look at the whole setup, the way they use it.
We're talking about powers. We're not talking
Look
about
at the powers. She's got. I don't know. I mean, she's more.
There is now that he says it, there is some similarity. She has the ribbons where Wonder Woman has the lasso. The dress is similar. Angela is supposed to be this. She's an angel, so she's like been training for war and so on and so. But she was on that kick before they decided that they were going to box Wonder Woman into being this, born with us. She's like Conan, born on the battlefield, that sort of stuff.
They're trained for battle. So, Kyle, what do you think? Who do you think is the?
I think Pete makes a really good point. But the thing for me is I've never seen any true analog for Wonder Woman outside of, even in DC because of her creation. A lot of the stuff that he's saying, when you see the Hulk, She-Hulk, a lot of that comes out of the 70s when Marvel realized that they had Captain Marvel and they had, they had the rights to the name. And they said, we need to shore up this stuff. We need to make certain that DC doesn't come back and do like us one better. So they said, okay, we have Hulk, we're going to do She-Hulk. We're going to do Ms. Marvel, and we're going to shore up everything to make certain that we have all of this copyright. And so that's where you see a lot of those things come from. But Wonder Woman was created by her creator, William Marston, to be a counter to what he felt were the masculine male heroes. Okay? And none of those other heroes, or rather those heroines, have anything really like her. Partially because Wonder Woman is a bit of a cipher. Unfortunately, she tends to take on the characteristics of those people that they put around her, and that's not what she was originally created to do. The early Golden Age stuff is very, I can't say it's trend-setting, but it's very different in terms of what was going on with the other characters. Wonder Woman was talking about peace, justice, and equality for everyone, regardless of race, creed, and this is in the comics in the 1940s, before before Superman was doing anything of that nature. Superman was flinging wife beaters into the bay, but he wasn't talking about this. He was definitely more meting out justice than he was talking about compassion. And so Wonder Woman's created as a counterbalance to that, a more compassionate balance. At her best, she's really this ambassador from Themyscira, from Paradise Island, showing, look, we have evolved as Amazons. We've evolved from that point of constant fighting, of constant war, to a stage of enlightenment, of music and art and science and literature. And she's an ambassador who comes to bring all of that to say, look, you guys can do this too. There's a different way. And it's not something that's selective strictly for women. It's for everybody. Okay, even though we call it man's world, this is something that we're offering. Okay, we understand that man's world is also composed of women. That's Wonder Woman at her apex. No female Marvel character I've ever seen emphasizes that. They've had some aspects of it with Thundra. They've had some aspects of it definitely with Angela in terms of the fighting. But they've lost a lot of that with Wonder Woman recently, where she's just fighting. She's always waving a sword around. You know, she's not about compassion. She's not about, you know, spreading peace. She's not about this mission to quell war, okay, to quell war in man's world. So, you know, but at the apex, that's what the character is about. And I have never seen that with any character. She's very unique. She's very unique, very singular in terms of female characters, you know, for that reason.
Well, only add, just want to say one thing, and this is not the counter to everything, just the aspect of Wonder Woman being a cipher. And you have to remember, there's a period after their creation where basically all the DC characters were just doing a job. You wouldn't really get to see any personality as far as, like, you know, like Kirby doing, and that's the thing, Kirby is connected to the Fantastic Four, but the Challengers, there's no personalities there, there's no things in Green Arrow, and it's not a negative, because they were just doing stories that, here's the character and they're taking out a problem. So I just want to add that. It's like, because Wonder Woman sort of gets at, well, she had no personality. It's like, well, and the same way people say, well, Flash, we argued about it recently about Flash, like not having personality in comparison to Wally. Like, but Green Arrow, like all down the line, is more about just the character fighting a villain. And those were solid stories from back then until
but I think though that you guys are, particularly you, Kyle, that you're bringing something where a woman's role was considered to be peace and love and softness and stuff to the now where women are like,
and
we're
bondage,
empowered,
and it was bondage
and
too.
we're empowered to be just as tough and tough as strong, and just as difficult as men now.
No, you're misconstruing that. Toughness doesn't mean that you can kick somebody's ass, okay? And toughness doesn't mean that, you know, you can come over here and punch a hole in the wall, because Wonder Woman could do all of that stuff back in the Golden Age, and she addressed a lot of that stuff back in the Golden Age. What the male heroes were not doing, okay, was, yeah, they would come over there and solve the whole problem, but they weren't showing any consideration in the meantime. Wonder Woman was sticking around like, hey, are you okay? Okay, Wonder Woman would stick around and say, hey, look, I'm going to talk to the people. Superman was about, hey, look, I'm going to do the right thing because it's right. But damn if he was thinking about how it got done. You know, he was like, oh, I'm going to decimate this entire neighborhood so they come out and fix it. I was like, I hope nobody was living there. I hope nobody was living there at the time. Those first 2 years, Superman was really rough and tumble, and that's one of the reasons why she was created as that particular counter. That whole cipher mode comes once Marston's off the book. You have the whole 1950s period where they definitely, you know, turn them into Blancmange, because they're just trying to stay, you know, keep the books published at this point with the comics code.
Tough period, yeah.
Then you break out, you know, the 60s comes out, she becomes more mod, okay? You know, you get to the 70s, she's a feminist. When her original creation, she's more like, even though she's a feminist then, it's definitely more of a humanist than anything at that point. Then it becomes, look, if you put woman on an island of women, she has to be a lesbian. You put her on a team full of men, hey, she's toting a gun like everybody else and has golden ass just as big as everybody else on the team. She becomes this really big cipher when it comes to it.
Look, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, one other thing. If you're a real big Wonder Woman fan and you want to read some very good Wonder Woman writing, some quintessential Wonder Woman writing, Phil Jimenez's run on Wonder Woman, which stems from about Phil Jimenez's run. I can't remember the exact numbers.
It's okay.
George Perez run.
His run, because again, it brings you the Themyscira. It really broadens what Marston's ideals would have been. There's no man bashing. There's no bashing at all. Okay, it's very inclusive. It's very good.
A bad guy? Didn't Wonder Woman's girl, you know, younger, not her protege, but her friend Julie Kepper, didn't she become a bad guy?
The Silver Swan?
Did she become the Silver Swan in that story?
She became the Silver, but she was a Silver. This is still keeping on with what Perez did. She was already the Silver Swan.
But she was mad because Wonder Woman picked a Wonder Girl and it wasn't her, and she went crazy.
But it's the same Silver Swan from the Perez stories.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Why would they do that? Why would you do that?
So, gentlemen, in terms of power,
go back.
who's the most powerful female in the Marvel who can beat Wonder Woman?
She-Hulk. I don't want to do that. I want to do that versus battle nonsense. Okay, I just don't want to. All right, Wonder Woman.
Marvel.
Wonder Woman is your.
I mean, we got one.
In terms of
Marvel, we're talking about in terms of the female.
Your top three. Your top three female heroes in terms of, you know, your top three heroes.
She's as strong as Spider-Man.
That's it.
Yeah, and she's invulnerable.
I'm certain they'll up her power. They love to up everybody's power with Marvel. But in terms of strength, I mean, if you want to go by powers and so on and so forth, look, Wonder Woman, it's going to be Wonder Woman, Power Girl, Supergirl. Those are going to be your top three right there. everything else just becomes this needless debate. Again, Wonder Woman is a very, very singular character. When handled well, she's very, very entertaining. The only problem is that it depends on who gets it and what agenda they're trying to push through Wonder Woman. I mean, we see this. You see this with female characters. You'll see this with black characters or Latino characters. You know, that because these characters aren't white or because they're not male, they have to be used to hold up all, of the issues, all of the baggage that, as honestly, people just can't let go of, rather than we just tell some great stories with them. So Wonder Woman has to stand for all of these things. She has to talk about it the same ways that, Black Panther was a great book, and then Ta-Nehisi Coates comes on, and it becomes Civil War, and, all of these things. Instead of just telling some really good stories. She's again, when you think about it, and I don't totally disagree with PD on the Angela thing. I think it's a nice connection. But as female characters go, she's very unique in the fact that she had a particular mission, and that her origins come where she's playing counter, to the shoot 'em up rough stuff that a lot of the male heroes were doing. And when you do her right, that's what she's supposed to be doing. And they have descended her to waving a sword around at everything, okay, fighting rather than trying to calm things. The whole idea of the lasso was that she didn't need to fight. She could restrain you, calm you down, talk you down. That she was a good enough fighter that she didn't need to pull out the sword. And if she needed to pull out the sword, that meant it was serious.
Well, I would only counter that because all of the heroes have become that. Spider-Man, has become about who he beats up.
Yeah.
Everyone has become upping them so they can say, okay, Punisher didn't have any sort of skill. And it's like, well, maybe he does have some skill. And then it's like, oh, well, he's equivalent to Wolverine or Daredevil fighting. And it's just like...
But did you read that issue of the Punisher when the Punisher had fought Daredevil several times, and Daredevil pretty much won because he had better fighting skills. The Punisher is Daredevil's like a trained ninja as opposed to the Punisher who's a Navy SEAL or something. And then finally, Garth Ennis, I think, had enough of it. So he does this issue where the Punisher gets the drop on him because somehow the Punisher learned that Daredevil has super senses. And everybody just looked for it. They're like, yes. And I'm like, wait a minute. How did he learn the Daredevil had super senses? That stuff, that nonsense right over there totally undercuts the character, but it's fan service. It's strict fan service for these guys. And at the end of the day, it undercuts the stories. I mean, we talked about it. It doesn't work if all you want to do is just come in here and have some cutouts or some scans so you can go online and continually argue who's better, who's stronger, who's faster. It doesn't work lifelong for the character. The writers and the companies need to start being more forward-thinking and telling good runs. You may not necessarily agree that Phil Jimenez's run is a good Wonder Woman run, but it's a run. Okay, it's where this guy had an idea and he was writing about a story about this particular character and not just showing these particular moments of fighting and who's faster and who's stronger. When you do that, then you reinvigorate the market in terms of stories.
One of the most popular Wonder Woman runs under Perez. You're basically discounting that because of all the action.
Perez?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's doing that.
No, not at all. Perez's run, look,
I mean,
in terms of Wonder Woman runs, you have the original run by Marston, okay? Perez, without a doubt, okay? Jimenez, and then after that, you probably have Greg Rucka. Those are probably the most well-received runs by readers. Well-received. I didn't say I agree with it. Okay, well-received.
I'm just saying, go back, and even if you're saying these stories are wonky, you gotta go see the Ross Andru when Ross Andru was at the height of his ability.
When was that?
The artist.
No, when was that?
That's all in the 60s.
That's what I'm saying. When was that?
Like late 50s.
Well, I'm just saying that's the difference. See, that's the difference between comic book connoisseurs and these versus battles guys. They don't want to read the books. They don't. It's not, and I'll be honest, it's not easy reading a Golden Age story. It's not easy reading a Silver Age story. You do have to have the mental elasticity to put yourself and say, okay, I understand what they're trying to do here, and then you can actually enjoy it. I would say those are the major runs for Wonder Woman. A lot of people say Azzarello. I didn't like that run at all. But those, I believe, encapsulate the core of what the character is supposed to be about without her being a cipher, without her, because she's an Amazon, she has to be carrying a sword all the time, or she's out for blood, or she's a lesbian, or all of the cliche stereotypes that have to be associated with it, because that's never what the character was supposed to be. She is this woman who's selected. She's come in here to show us that, look, you guys can overcome.
Hey, stop that.
Yeah, what are you yawning for? What are you yawning for?
Save that for after the show.
Cut that.
Yeah, no, we're not cutting
I'm like, I
that.
don't cut anything. I don't got.
Yeah, we're gonna get subscriptions off of that, right? You're yawning during the show. Thank you, Mario. Go get some sleep. No, but she comes over here and she's like, look, we were able to achieve this, okay? We were not perfect, okay? We're women, okay? We're humans with the same type of frailties as you. Look how far we've come. You can do the same thing. Let me show you how to do this. And then at the same time, she's willing to fight if necessary to get it across. I was think how well you could do it if you could show how adept she is with that lasso and the symbolism of that lasso, which is restraint, truth and restraint. Think how much you could do in a film if you really put that over, okay, and put the sword to the side. But I mean,
it's not going to be as good as a good movie.
no, it used to be every time you saw one.
You're going to want something to see some.
It used to be. You could be much more dynamic. You can be much more dynamic with the lasso, especially since it's a magical lasso. You can be much more dynamic than that, than with the stationary sword and shield. And if you're drawing the sword, you're saying that you're going to use it. You're going to slice. You're going to kill. Most of the stuff, up to a certain year, you would see all these images of Wonder Woman, and it was with the lasso doing something dynamic. Now everything is sword and shield.
Well,
Yeah, but S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't kill
her
Box.
with the cat and the kids. They always had those images of Wonder Woman, like, oh, here's with the cat and kids.
They do the same with Superman.
It's like, no, they do Superman where his lace is dynamic. He's like, it's always with like some sort of fair. It's just got a little cat. And it's like, come on. And it's like, I'm not necessarily saying you go the other way, but somehow
No,
they
I thought
commissioned it and
Perez's
said-
run I thought was very good for reintroducing the character, definitely establishing some mythos about her. The usage that he did with the Greek mythology, excellent. Even though I didn't agree with, I can't even blame him for that. That was Potter. That was Potter, not Perez. I didn't. The only thing I never liked was the whole thing they did with Hercules at the beginning. But aside of that, very good run. Jimenez's run.
It's a decent bit.
And
if you go
Jimenez's
back
run,
into it,
if you read Perez's run, skip all that other malarkey,
No, you don't skip
and then go
Burns. You
straight,
don't skip
and then go
Burns'
straight to
run.
Jimenez, you've
Don't
got a
skip
nice story
Burns'
there.
run.
Burns' run, oh
How much
God.
stuff they kept with it? They
She
kept
looked like
the-
an
No, she did
anorexic
not. She
wig.
did not look like-
She looked like
no,
a
come
Q-tip
on.
with a
Well, you know
big
how I
wig.
feel about
No,
Burns'
no,
drawing, so
no,
I'm not even going
it's
to go
like-
there.
No,
You go
no.
to-
Byrne can draw Wonder Woman. I don't know what he decided to do
No,
for that run.
that's-
He decided
yeah,
she
yeah.
wasn't going to eat. You
That's
know,
not what the case is. And if you go past, if you go and look at what was going on, there's some things that are set up which connected, not where people say, oh, this part of Clay, like there's aspects of that that are still along with, what was it? And Wonder Woman had the shield in, what's that thing? DC 1 million. Like they connected the what's the name? The invisible plane to the shield that she has in present. Like it's like there's a clear lineage to the million. So there's so much stuff that stayed on that, like Wonder Woman being with the JSA. There's a ton of stuff that he did, and then basically
some of it, but you can
the Neron
pass,
story.
you can
no,
pass
you
that
can't.
over.
You can't
You
pass
can
the
pass that
Neron
over.
story where you had the Justice League come and they're dealing with.
The War of the Gods.
No, before that, because there's a story where Neron, like Underworld Unleashed.
Underworld. I thought
So-
wasn't that after? Isn't that after?
No, but then they had Wonder Woman have to deal with because who's it? Artemis. There's a bit because Artemis had some sort of power over Wonder Woman where she would fail.
Right.
And Neron sees this and sort of exploits it. And then next thing you know, Neron's using this against her. So then like it leads to Wonder Woman being sort of fatally injured. And then she's in the hospital, and the JLA all come separately, and it's like the reactions of all them dealing with
I mean,
her.
okay, there's an issue here and there.
I just gave
There's
you
an
like
issue-
4 or 5.
there's an
I gave
issue
you
here
like
and
10
there.
issues.
There's an issue here and
10
there.
issues.
But the Jimenez run.
10 issues.
That's what you need to read.
Versus
Perez won.
Perez is great. What's the name? There's sort of a weird point with Bill Lobes, but you might want to see that. Just if you're a fan, read the books. Go to Ross Andrews. There's Don Heck.
Right.
Don Heck and Roy Thomas. Go read those books.
Skip over the
Don't
Denny
skip
O'Neil
over
stuff.
anything.
Skip over
Read the
Denny
books.
O'Neil. You don't need to read the mod
Don't
stuff.
be okay.
If you have the books,
he's right. He's right about that.
Okay.
I can't disagree.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for showing up for Spin Ride. Go see Wonder Woman later.